Some days, you wake up and everything seems fine. You go through the motions, like an autopilot. You get up, grab your phone, scroll through social media, head to work, have obligatory conversations, and at the end of the day, when asked how you are, the answer rolls off your tongue: I'm fine. But despite the routine, something inside feels like it's stirring. It's like that itch you can't reach, and it's nagging at you. What's this nagging feeling? It's a question that refuses to fade. Is this it? Life, with all its chaos and unpredictability, can be overwhelming. Many people opt to squish that question down under layers of noise, music, late-night shows, memes, distractions galore. However, that question lingers like an uninvited guest. What does one do with a life that doesn't come with a manual? Two iconic thinkers collide here, illuminating opposing paths regarding existence and meaning. On one end is Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher-emperor who advocates for acceptance. On the other, we have Albert Camus, the existentialist who encourages rebellion. It's a dichotomy that taps into the human experience itself, and honestly, both perspectives are simultaneously terrifying and liberating. Marcus Aurelius would gaze upon your crammed schedule and the weight on your shoulders with a calm that almost feels unnerving. There's no panic in his demeanor. Instead, there's an acceptance of the human condition. Life to him is a series of obstacles, disappointments, and inevitable weaknesses we all endure. In his view, feeling anxious or confused about life isn't some big cosmic mistake. It's a regular part of the package. People let you down. Plans disintegrate before your eyes. Bodies tire, minds falter. He wouldn't pity you or offer solutions. Instead, he'd probably say, stop arguing with reality. Why? Because reality, however harsh, is what it is, and resisting it only adds unnecessary layers of pain. The path to peace for Marcus lies not in trying to control our external circumstances. It's about mastering our responses. Real growth isn't about feeling good. It's about acting with dignity, regardless of your feelings. Do the right thing, endure quietly, don't complain. There's a sense of solace in that approach. Maybe you don't need to reshape your whole life. Instead, you need to reshape your expectations. Your essence is tested not by the trials you face, but by how you face them. But accepting this Stoic philosophy isn't as easy as it sounds. There's a level of detachment that might lead one to feel numb, as though life has dulled into a routine of mere existence, like a passive survival that feels just a touch morbid. Enter Albert Camus, who wades into the discourse with fervor and passion. If Marcus embodies the quiet strength of acceptance, Camus embodies the fiery spirit of resistance. To him, the sadness of life doesn't stem from reality, but from the absurd. It's that weighty collision of our innate thirst for meaning and the indifferent world that offers none. To Camus, the issue isn't merely suffering or pain. It's the notion that suffering should make sense, that there's a grand design or purpose. Life is chaotic, messy, and often devoid of reason. You can show up, you can toil, you can be the best version of yourself, and yet, at the end of the day, you can still feel hollow. So what does Camus propose? Acceptance is a slippery slope. It can lead to complacency, which could gnaw away at your spirit. Instead of surrendering to the void, Camus pleads, face this absurdity, deny it to its face, and refuse to let the lack of meaning extinguish your flame. His call to arms is less about finding tranquility and acceptance, and more about finding vigor in rebellion. To live fully and fiercely, to love passionately, to create meaning even in a broken universe. This is where he draws the line against quiet despair. In this context, when Marcus says endure, Camus shouts, resist. It's a war cry against resignation. It's about being defiant against a world that doesn't care about you. This confrontation between Aurelius and Camus puts you squarely in the middle of an inner war of ideologies where both perspectives echo in your head. Many people experience this tension daily. When you embrace silence to keep the peace or hide your discomfort, it's Marcus whispering gently to accept reality. When you yearn to shout your frustrations to the world, that's Camus compelling you to rebel. You accept a job that saps your soul because it pays the bills. Marcus nods in understanding, telling you that life requires sacrifice. But on days when you're sick of wearing the mask and tired of pretending everything is rosy, Camus leans in closer, urging you to challenge the status quo and reclaim your voice. And therein lies the complexity. No guide tells you when to listen to which voice or ideology. It's an intricate dance and a constant negotiation between endurance and rebellion. The young people in particular finds themselves marooned in this conflict. Society preaches resilience, but also nudges you towards authenticity. You're encouraged to grind, to hustle, and make sacrifices, but also to protect your mental well-being. On one hand, you're told to accept the imperfections of life, but on the other, you're urged to enact change. No wonder you feel fatigued. This generation straddles the line, wrestling with how much acceptance is genuine and how much is simply settling. Marcus Aurelius would likely argue that your exhaustion stems from wanting too much from life. Perhaps Marcus is onto something here. After all, the expectations to constantly find happiness or meaning can feel like heavy bricks on your chest. Conversely, Camus might contend that your fatigue arises from settling for too little. If all you're doing is go through the motions without seeking authenticity, that's an even heavier burden to bear. Navigating between these two paths doesn't lend itself to a neat resolution. Each offers something valuable, like strength, resilience, and sifting through difficult experiences on one side, while the other roars with the promise of vibrancy, passion, and unwavering defiance. What if the real question isn't which philosopher holds the truth, but instead, what kind of suffering are you willing to embrace? You can live in quiet acceptance, divorced from the chaos, or you can scream back at the universe with a loud rebellion. Whichever path you choose might not have any clear advantages. The essence lies in the shade you cast over your own existence. There isn't an approach to life free of struggle. Instead, it's about identifying which kind of friction you're prepared to carry. I can't hand you a definitive answer. On certain days, Marcus speaks to me. Those moments when the weight of life feels unbearable, and I'd rather have the silence of acceptance envelop me. Yet on other days, Camus resonates deeply, igniting a fierce desire to disrupt the status quo when silence feels like betrayal. Maybe true wisdom lies not in choosing either path, but in recognizing when to lean into each. The balancing act between endurance and refusal can be a delicate one, and often it changes from one moment to the next. So tonight, when the familiar heaviness returns, take a moment to sit quietly with your thoughts. Reflect on these dimensions. Ask yourself, am I accepting life out of genuine strength, or is it out of fear? Am I rebelling because I truly care about something, or am I running from something else? Finding the answer is a journey, and it won't always come easily. But posing the question may shift your perspective in unexpected ways. And perhaps that awareness is more than enough for now. Whether you lean towards the pacifying words of Aurelius or the fire of Camus, may you find your balance in this beautiful, chaotic dance of existence.